was not graceful at all. I like hurt my toe, hit my knee. Hey y'all, what's up? Hi, good afternoon. Where's my phone? God damn it. Welcome to another daily vlog. Today is an off day. Like I'm off. And I'm off because I needed some time to myself. So I did that. I still gave myself some work to do. I edited a video. I posted a new lesson for Chance at Life. It's for imposter syndrome, which is crazy because like yesterday I had a really bad breakdown. I had to call a friend. My friend Melissa, she's like one of my spiritual friends. She walked me through this like meditation method, this like inner deep dive method of like pinpointing where, you know, where the fear or where this feeling is coming from, about like future and about like my own life and about my career and all this stuff like that. She really walked me through it, and I was in the depths of despair. Okay, a girl was crying to the point where like my face was like literally swollen, and I put ice on it last night. It was like bad, but it was like bad feeling, but it was super good to get a lot of the gooky stuff out. It is crazy because at the end of it, it was just boiled down to imposter syndrome, and I worked through a lot. I still have a lot to work through, but that will not stop me from teaching a lesson in it, because if I'm in the depths of despair going through it and I'm learning as I'm going through it, it is like the perfect time to teach what I feel. So I posted a lesson today for imposter syndrome, and it'll be next Saturday. Next Saturday at noon. Hopefully people can attend. I've been having my classes on Wednesdays, and Wednesdays are really hard and they're at night too. So I'm like, oh, let's just try a weekend, see if anybody wants to, you know, give me their time on a weekend. We'll see. But I'm excited to teach it. I'm excited to write down the lesson. I've already posted a video about imposter syndrome on here, but I want to dive into more detail because I'm learning that there's so much more detail to be had when it comes to imposter syndrome. I've only had 3 sips of coffee. I felt like I've been talking so fast, but is that new? Is that new to anyone? Like me talking fast? No, it's not. What's up? What's up? Hi, are you new here? If you are, welcome. Subscribe. I'm on the road for 100. I'm on the road to 100K subscribers. So, you know, if you in it, you in it. If you here, you here. Don't click off. Stay right here. My analytics will tell on you. No, I'm kidding. I really don't care. If you're here for a minute, if you're here for 2, if you're here for the whole video, I don't care. Your time given to me is still like really cool. So I'm grateful for that. So what do I want to do today? I kind of wanted to have like a chill day of me just laying down in my bed, watching some Disney Plus and binging out. But I have since redid that desire because I don't want to binge out. I want to eat the food that I bought. I literally just went grocery shopping like a few days ago. I'm going to cook. But I do want chips. Like I want like something salty, like a crispy chip. So I may order a GoPuff and get like a chip and a candy because I do want those satiating things in my mouth. And I do have dinner that I will be making and or warming up. I have ravioli that I can make. Anyway, we'll get to that bridge. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. And I'm excited. I look really good. The lighting, the little fixture that I did on lighting and the way this is working, it's doing wonders. It's doing wonders. I'm not too like pale. I feel like I'm my skin color. Love that for me. I love that for me. I'm also drinking from my bridesmaid's cup. Y'all, hold on, wait. A girl's a bridesmaid. Okay. I've been a bridesmaid once, right? It was okay. No, I was a maid of honor. I was a maid of honor, and the way I was asked to be maid of honor was like through text. It was like, obviously you're my maid of honor. I'm like, okay, cool. This though, my friend Ariana, she's getting married next year, 11/18/2022, and she asked me with a mug, and it has a C on it for Crystal, and then the date of the wedding and bridesmaid. I was like, this is so cool that you taking the time out to ask me in such a cute way to be your bridesmaid, to be a part of a moment in life that is so precious. So I'm remembering her today as I sip through this mug. I do want to share one thought with you that I had yesterday during my breakdown. So imposter syndrome is when you don't feel as if you deserve to be in the spot that you're in. You don't want to claim your accolades or your success. You feel like you don't belong somewhere, so on and so forth. But yesterday, it took a different route because, one, I knew I was going to do the imposter syndrome class. I just didn't know when, but the universe was like, we'll do it now. What is that? So diving deeper into the imposter syndrome, it's not just like not feeling like you belong. I always take my lessons into a more spiritual, internal sense in detail. So it's kind of a different perspective on the external version of the topic at hand. In this case, it's Imposter syndrome. What I mean by that is, through our lives, we have many versions of ourselves. We are told about ourselves through these many versions, whether it's through friends, family, co-workers. We are told who we are told who we should be, so on and so forth. So I will say it's very important for you to know who you are so no one can come into your life and tell you who you are. When you spend time learning about yourself, no one can ever come into your world and tell you who you should be. That's like the end lesson. But as we grow up, there are so many versions of ourselves, and if some of them aren't the best for us, like I was talking about yesterday, having like unhealthy coping mechanisms that saved our lives, but they no longer serve us, that's the same thing with the versions of ourselves. There may have been a version of you that had to be cold and callous to people because it protected you. There was a part of you who had to be really nice and people-pleasing because it protected you. At some point in your life, what protects us also limits us from growing to a different version of us, because that version of us knows us to be that. And it feels like if we let that part of us go, we will no longer be protected, that we're in danger. That's that ego too that I've been talking about in some of my lessons. But we are sometimes the reason why we cannot glow up, level up, ascend, or vibrate higher, because we're afraid that this isn't us. This isn't us because we've been in this one state, this one version for so long. How dare we try to get higher? Who are we to say, oh, you know what, I'm going to ascend a little bit. I know I'm no longer this version. Well, that version of you is going to be mourned and it's going to die. That's why it's so important to give love to those versions of you, because they helped you. But for me, there was a version of me that I wasn't tending to, and that's what was popping up for me yesterday. And through some work with Melissa, we realized, that it was my teenage self. I always talk about inner child, like the little girl in me that had to suffer through a lot of things. But not that I forgot, I think I was just really too scared to address her. But the teenage me that went through even more of a pit of despair than my inner child is the one who protected me, the one who made the safe choices for me, the one who decided to move out, the one who decided to go with the accounting career, the one who decided to leave an abusive relationship, the one who decided to not be in any more relationships and to just go into hermit mode to save herself. I am no longer that person. I am ascending way past that person I needed to be to feel safe, and she feels unsafe because of that glow up, because of that growth. And I felt so much fear and so much anger, and like, why do I think I deserve to have this? Why do I think I deserve to have that? Why can't I just be a normal person in a freaking cubicle and that be it? Why do I have to feel like there's more out there? Because that's who I'm always supposed to be. I just allowed myself not to be it for safety. Because the world will tell any of you who want to be outside of the box, to think outside of the box, to just squish the box all in general, they will tell you you're wrong. And there are so many other systems in place to tell you that you're wrong and to limit you. And so you become a part of that system yourself to not feel excavated. Excommunicated. I'm making up fucking word, excavated. I know that's a word, but I don't think it's a word I needed. Anyway, my fucking brain is like a really good dictionary. It has really good vocabulary. It's just, I grab the words in the Rolodex at the wrong time. Make it make sense, girl. Where the fuck was I? And so she was really angry at me. And there was a lot, my friend helped me do an exercise to like kind of embody her and speak what she wanted to speak. And she was angry. She called me a bitch. She called me a coward. And I was like, you right. I used to be a bitch to you. And I used to be a coward, hiding from my desires and hiding from the world and hiding from who I was meant to be. I felt it safe to not be seen, because if I were to be seen, I would be attacked for who I am. And I didn't want that. So I hid myself from the world, and I no longer want to do that. And she's angry because she's like, I built this life for us to feel safe, and it feels like you're ungrateful, and it feels like you're just dismantling it, and it feels like you're just throwing it away. All this work that I did to keep us safe, you're just gonna up and leave. And that's the part that I want to talk about in my class, because I'm like, there's going to be a part of you who fears that other side because it feels so unsafe. And we have to address that part of us and integrate that part of us and befriend that part of us. I didn't mean to dismiss her. I didn't mean to act like she never existed. I know what she did for me. I know what I had to do for myself to survive in this world. And I don't take any of that for granted. But baby girl, we're here. We're here and we survived. It's time to get on the other side of surviving and live, and we cannot live without being vulnerable. We cannot live without being seen. We cannot grow without having growing pains, without expanding ourselves further than what we were before, to expand our consciousness and to expand our body and our mindset. Like, we can't stay in the same place, because although that place is a place of safety, the longer we stay in there and not grow, it becomes a place of pain and resentment. So that's what I want to teach in my class going up. And that's what I wanted to share with you now, because I think it's an important message. You know, you have versions of yourself that helped you get to where you are, but you no longer need them. But it doesn't mean you should just throw them aside. I think lesson here is also to thank them before you, to thank them before you cast them aside. I don't know if you remember Marie Kondo, and how she was talking about like decluttering your spaces and taking away things that don't what is it that don't give you joy or whatever. But when she has that lesson, like taking things away that don't give you joy, she always says, think that though. So like if you're giving away a dress, if you're letting go of a dress that really used to bring you joy, no longer brings you joy, don't just throw it in a bag. Be like, thank you for all that you have given me. Bye. Like, that's it. And that's what we should do to everything, because everything is like matter, and everything is like just energy, and all the transitions and exchanges that we make when we get things, when we let things go, when we let people go, it's nothing but an energy exchange. And you want to exchange that energy with love. You want to let go of that with love. That was a lot of talking. I said I was going to rest today, yet I'm just dropping bombs. Because it's who I am, and that's fine. So I'm going to finish up my coffee, and I'm going to sit here and look outside for a little bit, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day while I do enjoy the rest of my day.